Hello, my name is Roswitha and I'm a filmmaker and I make screen dance work. I originally trained at Trinity Laban as a contemporary dancer. I'd always been interested in film and photography, and when I graduated I was able to buy a very small camera, and when I did projects in schools I did dance and video work with them, editing onto a VHS recorder with cables from my camera, having to literally edit with taking footage from my camera straight onto a VHS tape, analog style. Jump forward, I've been working as a dance filmmaker and photographer for 20 years. I trained as a camera operator at the Place, documenting dance on the stage, and now work full-time documenting dance, making trailers, making films about dance education projects, as well as making art pieces, making dance on screen works, films and installations. So, Porcelain, the screen dance work you're seeing here, I made in collaboration with Stella Howard, a dance artist and choreographer. She had a couple in mind, Stella and Ian, who attend her weekly class at Trinity Laban on their outreach programme. A class aimed at people with head injuries and issues that have made moving difficult for them, and they want to come back into movement work and a creative space and a safe space to be all together. And the reason she particularly wanted to make a work with Sheila was her husband came with her every week, and for her the initiative that was basically the connection between them, and that was the main driving force that she came to me with. Then I met the couple, we talked and developed the idea. The collaborative approach from the dancers was obviously Stella knew the couple well from attending her classes, but also then we went on and had rehearsals. She had rehearsals with Stella and Ian in the studio. We met them at their home. Then after a few sessions I started coming to rehearsals. We'd already discussed some ideas, the whole idea of the teacups on the table, that came very early on. Then Stella, Sheila and Ian worked together on that, and then I came along, and all of the choreography is set. It's mainly tasks that Stella worked with Ian and Sheila over time, and these improvised tasks. So there were things that they worked together and looked at what worked most successfully and least successfully and how to develop these tasks. But then on the day, again, Stella would come back and we would, okay, we're going to do this task and that task, and we'd work a little bit reminding them how it worked best, and then we'd shoot and film. So the filming days, we had 2 sessions on a Saturday and Sunday. We were very lucky to have the space that we had. There were only the 4 of us, and this was great because it made it a very comfortable space for Sheila and Ian, both non-professional dancers, and that was really important to Stella and I, to have a very small and intimate crew and small and comfortable space. And difficulties? The main difficulties were we didn't have much time, just these 4 hours, and obviously we couldn't run at 150 miles an hour. We had to take our time and be very careful. Toilet breaks took time, and Sheila has difficulty with her memory, so it didn't make it difficult as such, just a different approach, and to be careful and mindful of that, and of Ian and Sheila together, and that we took appropriate breaks, and making sure we all had energy at each moment in time. But then, of course, the benefits of that are the gifts that, for me, that they gave us with making this film, because I find them, what they gave to the film, incredibly generous and open. And there were the set tasks, but basically they are showing themselves as Ian and Sheila, and they portray that beautifully. So the difficulties gave us benefits, if that makes any sense. I suppose the main difficulty in making this film was me in a way, not me, but the editing process. When I came to edit the footage, I watched all the footage, and I interestingly then saw more things that I hadn't even seen in the shoot. You have time to reflect and watch the footage that you have, and I was struck with a overwhelming sense of responsibility, because they're non-professionals, because they are two performers, two people being very honest and open. And I spent a day thinking, what on earth, how am I going to deal with this footage? How am I going to treat it? How am I going to be honest and true to Sheila and Ian? And that's the most I've ever felt about an edit before. And how am I going to work on this? But I think we got there in the end. Well, as I mentioned, I work full time doing this, and as I'm sure many of us, I mean, dancers and performers and choreographers throughout the world, programmers, theatres, spaces, basically everything was cancelled overnight. And the last shooting I did was, I think it was the 14th of March, and that was it. But then now projects have started to come in where I'm editing people's phone footage, as I'm sure you've seen around the world. It's happening a lot. And I'm working with 3 different organisations at the moment. Greenwich Dance, they've turned a project that was supposed to be an evening cabaret going out into community venues. We're making those into 4 mini kind of programmes, and I'm editing that with a colleague, and that involves a commission that Greenwich Dance have given to each of the 4 choreographers, and interviews, and so that's one. And then I'm working with Royal Academy of Dance, their Step Into Dance programme. How can they re-envisage their performance? And all the young dancers are going to be sending me footage to edit. I'm also working with Protein Dance on a project called The Sun Inside. This was a piece that Luca Silvestrini and I created, a very short film in 2008, and it was a project that we were working on together at Evelina Hospital School at Charing Cross Hospital in London. And this was one of the short films we made with one of the patients and students at the hospital school. And Protein at the moment are doing a reimagine of projects that they've made over the last 21 years. And we've just put the call out to ask people to help us create a new film with The Sun Inside during this period of time. And the call out went out last week, and I think we've had 250 people interested, and we'll see how that goes. So that could be really exciting. We've set tasks on choreography and filming, and have a composer as well, Andy Pink, and we'll see how that works out. So that is the most creative filmmaking project as a piece of art, a piece of work that I'm working on at the moment. And it's going to be interesting to see the ideas that come back from participants and how they're working with our suggestions. I know that I could, if there are projects, I think now be able to go out and film a solo piece and be able to film from a distance with the equipment that I have. And or it could be a piece with dancers spread out at a safe physical distance. So we'll see how that goes. As for documenting work in theatres and bigger pieces and community festivals, I don't know when that's going to happen again, and that makes me really sad, because it's so beautiful to see these pieces and these performances, and the physicality of filming dance is something I really love and really feed from and enjoy. And as much as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I'm at my editing desk at the moment, and there's a reason I chose not to be just an editor. There's a reason I love being out, being physical with the camera, so that's quite hard. But funnily enough, after carrying equipment everywhere all the time, being weighed down by cameras, and at the end of a project I say, oh, next time I'm filming on an iPhone. Well, that's what's happening at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. thank you for listening, and I hope you're all okay during this. And yeah, we just have to keep breathing and keep moving forward and looking after our family and our friends and the bigger picture of all of this. Thank you. Bye-bye.